Today it was announced that Tesla shut down one of their lines at their Model 3 Fremont factory. And we're going to talk a little bit about why this is interesting news today. In a report today from Bloomberg and other sources, apparently Tesla let line workers know at their Fremont facility that the line will be shut down for their Tesla Model 3 through March 7th. The most interesting factor here is that there was no reason given for the shutdown itself. The last time anything was shut down at Tesla was back in March, I believe, of 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. And then soon after that in the fall, another shutdown, late fall, for the Model S when they were retooling that car. So there's a lot wrapped in what's going on here, and let's try to unravel a little bit of it and understand what might be happening here for Tesla, and also what might be happening for other auto manufacturers as it relates to some of the pieces they need to build their cars. One of the most obvious explanations for this is the global semiconductor, otherwise known as component shortage, across the auto industry. Not only across the auto industry, but across lots of industries right now, as we've seen from NVIDIA with the chip shortage as it relates to their video cards. We're also seeing it impact car companies. And of course, as cars are getting more and more technology focused, so the capabilities are just ratcheting up every single year, they're going to have more of a reliance on components. So as it relates to a component shortage, would this cause a production line halt, is the question. Production line outages aren't that unfamiliar in the auto space, but they do cost companies a lot of revenue. Tesla acknowledged last month, in fact, that it's trying to mitigate some of the effects that this global semiconductor component shortage is having on them, even while they're trying to meet their really aggressive numbers for 2021, which means increasing global vehicle deliveries by over 50% this year. And of course, not to mention their goal of hitting 20 million cars by 2030. So a lapse in components could have a huge impact on a company's plan to reach certain numbers. The fabrication process for components is roughly around 4 to 6 weeks. However, there's a giant supply chain in front of that and behind that. So it's not just 4 to 6 weeks. It could be months in between shortages. And it's really up to the automobile companies, such as Tesla, to be able to forecast and predict when these semiconductor shortages are going to happen enough so that they can meet their goals still. And that is not easy. In an article in January last month, in 2021, a Toyota spokesperson actually confirmed much of this also. Scott Vazen from Toyota said that they are evaluating supply constraint of semiconductors and developing countermeasures to minimize the impact to production. Obviously, this is a huge problem. This is something that's really going to impact production capabilities across all auto manufacturers, and Tesla is not exempt from this. So this could be a reason why this is happening. So this is a potential reason. Is it the reason? I think it's an easy one for us to look at as a possible reason for this, since it's already been talked about. It just seems very aggressive to shut down a line completely of one specific model line. Not anything else, just the Model 3. So another reason that's come up, and this is a more pessimistic reason, I don't think I agree with this one, is that there's demand problems for the Model 3, meaning that there's constraints around demand in the market for it. Could this be actually why this is happening? Maybe they needed to press pause. Maybe there wasn't enough demand to warrant new Model 3s being manufactured when there is such incredible demand that we've seen for Model Ys and of course for the new Model S that was recently redone. The theory on lack of demand is attributable to an analyst in the industry. When considering Tesla had excess inventory in fourth quarter of 2020 and has never been able to sell out its production capacity, we see the company as currently demand constrained rather than production constrained. GLJ research founder Gordon Johnson wrote in a research note to clients this week. Yeah, so that's absolutely pessimistic. I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. I'm not sure that's entirely something that's happening here. Another reason why this might be happening is because of what we've heard about months ago around the single piece rear casting for the Tesla Model Y. And of course, part of the reason why this single piece casting is so important is because it's going to increase efficiencies, it's going to increase the quality control or make that more, I guess, stable. And it's also going to make it so that there's less components and less for them to rely on in general, which ties back to what we were just talking about. While it may not be chip components, it could be other pieces because there's thousands and thousands of pieces needed to build up a Tesla or any vehicle. And the less they're reliant on these individual parts, the better they'll be able to keep up. So if this was the case, and let's remember, this is the Model 3 line that's been shut for a couple weeks. Why not the Model Y line? Why not more lines than just that one? And of course, we can't forget that Tesla announced also in the fall that they had the world's biggest casting machine at their Fremont factory right outside of it. So is this related to the single piece manufacturing process being changed? Possibly. But like I said, this wouldn't be just the Model 3 line, unless they're starting with Model 3 first. Instead of talking about more reasons why this might be happening, let's talk about the biggest issue here, which is the impact on the line workers themselves. In a bunch of the articles I've seen about this, there is a quote from an inside source at Tesla, and it reads, "Staff on a Model 3 production line in Fremont were told that their line would be down from February 22nd until March 7th, said the person who asked not to be identified because information is private. The workers were told they would be paid for February 22nd and February 23rd and not paid for February 28th, March 1, 2, and 3. They were advised to take vacation time if they had it." So they're getting a couple days paid, a few days not paid, and the rest needs to be vacation. It's kind of a tough deal. And of course, this is a tougher sell when a company like Tesla invests in Bitcoin and makes unrealized gains of $1 billion. So what is the real reason for this? We don't know. Hopefully we'll get some more information soon. It seems like there are some people that are willing to talk, and it seems like some of the publications out there are getting some answers. So we'll see what the deal is here. It doesn't seem to be anything like the Model S retooling that happened just a month or two ago. It doesn't seem to be related to COVID or a shutdown related to that. So it very much could be, like I mentioned at the start, which is the easiest thing to conceptualize and to digest in general, which is a component shortage. That very much could be the case. So time will tell. Maybe we'll find out more in the coming days. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this was interesting to you. It's definitely interesting to me in watching some of these news items come through. If you have any strong opinions on this, or if you feel like it's for one reason or another that I didn't mention, or if you feel like I'm off base in any of this, I'd love to know your opinion on it. And thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys next time.